Remember, no matter how bad things seem, they could always be worse. You could be stuck listening to two fat asses on a couch. Shit. Well, here's the Fairly Odd Cast.
Welcome to Fairly Oddcast. I'm Adam Watts.
And I'm Mark. Nobody puts baby in a corner of the valley.
We're recording a little bit early this week, just because you're working this weekend, so we got to get stuff done a little bit early.
Exactly. Working nights on the weekend is balls, but it has to be done.
It does. I got cool news. I went on a date tonight.
Yay!
With a female and
sure?
human.
Oh.
So,
Extra points for both of those
extra
going together.
Points for both, I know. So what we like to do to start off the show is we like to tell a few old stories about ourselves because we're assuming not everyone knows us personally.
Exactly.
So the range for the story is sometime from a month ago, way back until basically
1993-ish.
Yeah, those would be stories of us knowing each other, or of that time frame, I guess. We have stories that go back all the way to being shot out of our mothers' vajayjays, but
that's true. That was in a test cast that most of you probably never heard.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but we can tell stories anytime from there, but we tend to stick to stories from that we were both somewhat involved in or heard about the next day.
Exactly.
So let's get to stories.
Boy, the way Glenn Miller played.
Songs that made the hit parade.
Guys like me, we had it made. Those were the days.
And here again, hoping we do not get sued for that intro. I gotta find something better. Something, that's been around long enough that is public domain.
Yes, we need to scour the internets.
So I guess I'm going to go first with the story this week.
This time you're going first, absolutely.
And the story does not involve my nudity.
Fantastic. It's about time.
They're hard to find, but this one was dug up. This involves a lot of drinking, though.
Oh, well, drinking or nudity, one or the other. It's always going to involve one.
So picture it. Let's say, I'm not exactly sure of the year, but it's at least 11 years ago, Christmas Eve. At Edward's house.
Mr. Coos.
Oh, what a dirty last name. We're just having some holiday cheer drinks. Nothing crazy planned. But what happened was he'd bought his alcohol for the Christmas season. We consumed...
Like all of it?
Yes, he had his liquor bought for the entire holiday season.
Fantastic. That's a good idea.
And we drank it that night. It was a mess. His kids were there. They're still young enough to find it funny.
They would have been pretty young back then.
They were. But we thought it would be funny, and they thought it would be funny to shave my head.
Mm-hmm.
So we shaved my head.
Fantastic.
Only for the pure amusement of his children.
Excellent.
But we're drunk enough that maybe, just maybe, some other things needed to be shaved.
Uh-oh.
So we shaved his name into my chest hair. Not his full name, just Ed.
Just Ed.
Not the whole Edward, because that'd be kind of Twilight-ish, I guess.
Well, pre-Twilight.
It was way pre-Twilight. But yeah, so here I am, shaved head, annihilated drunk, dude's name shaved into my chest hair.
Mm.
Now, I'm not sure who drove me home that night. But since the next morning was Christmas, I was getting dropped off at my parents' house. And it's like 2, 3 in the morning. And
Now, were they still in Bedford at that point?
Yeah, they were up on Roy Crescent actually at that point.
Oh, okay.
Remember they lived there for a little bit?
Briefly.
Yeah. So I stumble into their place, 2, 3 in the morning, annihilated. Now, I don't know about you, but when I'm drunk, the idea of just laying down and going to sleep doesn't work for me.
Not often, no.
So the first thing I do is go get a snack.
Yes, that generally comes first.
And then I want to watch a movie. Now, the TV downstairs did not have a DVD player, cable, anything.
Not even a VCR?
Nothing. Nothing on the TV downstairs.
Dude.
But for some reason, my PlayStation 2 was there.
Oh.
So I was going to hook that up.
Yep.
And watch a movie on that.
That makes sense.
So I'm drunkenly hooking this up. Now, the TV downstairs is very, very old. And when I say old, it's only got a coax on it.
Yeah.
So here I am going to a TV upstairs to take the VCR off of it so I can plug it into the coax in and then hook the PlayStation 2 into the VCR and then run it through the TV.
That's so ghetto.
Drunk at what is now 4 o'clock in the morning.
Excellent.
So it's quite the process. I'm pretty sure I woke my brother up to help me at one point. So next morning we wake up. It's Christmas. Mom's complaining about my head being shaved. And then she continues to complain at dinner time. Like
Still
middle of
about the
Christmas,
head?
still about the head. She goes like, look at you. You come home with a shaved head. And enough was enough. It was like, you think that's bad? Up goes the shirt. I got a dude's name in my chest. Merry fucking Christmas. So there's a lot more to that story. There's a lot of things that happened that night. For some reason, Ed's neighbor still had a pumpkin outside.
Gross.
But it wasn't carved.
Okay.
So it was fine and frozen, and we stole it.
I remember hearing that part of the story.
And then we brought it inside and did karate on it.
Ooh. Inside the house.
Inside the house.
On a frozen pumpkin.
Yes. Ed
Nice.
almost broke his foot.
Yeah,
I
I can
almost
see
broke
it.
my hand.
Yeah.
Just lots of drunken buffoonery that night.
It sounds like a good time.
It was. I'm pretty sure we went and did it on Christmas night again or Boxing Day. And because I remember somebody driving us to the store in the snow and just pulling their Jake brake on them. And I think it was little Dave driving.
Excellent.
And I'm pretty sure I held onto the back of the car and got pulled along the road for a little bit.
Excellent.
This might be crossing with another story, I'm not sure, but that's what I recall.
A blast of an evening.
Blast of an evening, drunk, dude's name in my chest.
Excellent. You're a pillar of society.
I am but there's no nudity.
That's true.
So what more can I do? You got one there, Big Papa?
I do. Mine's from fairly recent history, within the last 3 weeks. Friends, of course, will know that I had an issue with an infection recently. So the story, it may be a little gross.
Like an STD?
No, not quite.
Oh, okay.
Like a growth, we'll call it. Right on my inner thigh, right where your thigh meets your crotch.
So almost touching your balls, then, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah, pretty much exactly that. So it hurt a lot. So I went to Cobequid. And basically, what I want to point out in this story is, over a 3-week period, how many strangers have seen my junk without a payoff.
Welcome to my fucking life.
Yeah, but this is in a 3-week period, and I think it's a pretty impressive number. It started off, I went to Cobequid because I thought, you know what, it's close. I had something similar happen before. They looked at it, they dealt with it that day. This time, the doctor on duty was like, oh, geez, I don't know. I don't think we can do anything with that yet. So they gave me some antibiotics. So that's person number one that saw. And she actually played with my junk to move it out of the way of said injury.
Did it move?
It didn't move, no.
Not even a little?
No, she was an old lady doctor.
Some people are into that.
It's true. So that's person number one. And I would say at least one nurse doing some prep work saw it that day as well. So we're up to 2 people.
Did it move for her? Oh,
No.
she didn't touch it. She just saw it.
Yeah, it was there. They sent me home after the antibiotics, told me to come back for an official appointment. We'll see what happens overnight after the antibiotics, blah, blah, blah. Maybe we'll do something about it. Get to Cobequid again the next morning. Luckily, the same doctor's on board, so it's only one doctor thus far that has seen my fun zone. But we have a new nurse. And another nurse. So we're up to 3 nurses and a doctor now after 2 trips to Cobequid.
So for those keeping score at home, that is 4.
4 people, yeah. Doctor still didn't feel confident with it, so she called the surgery unit down at Halifax Emerge and said, you know what, you better go there. I'm like, oh, damn it. But at least because they were expecting me, I didn't have to wait with all the idiots who had fallen off ladders and slipped on sidewalks. And
Hey, asshole, some of us are scared of falling off ladders. And when we painted my house, I was the only one who would get up on the ladder.
that's true. So Emerge results in being sent to a private little room. And nurse number 1 at Emerge comes in. There's 5.
I was just about to... I'll keep track. You keep telling the story. I'll
Okay.
keep track with how many people have seen it.
And then the first doctor at Halifax Emerge comes.
6.
And he's like, yep, I think we'll discuss it with the head resident and this other guy, and we'll see what we can do about it. So another nurse comes in to give me some more antibiotics, and she brings a student.
8.
A student nurse. So we got a nurse and a student nurse. And then a student doctor comes in,
9.
and she has to do this stupid form, like, you know, your pain level and your age and medication you're on and all that crap. And then the head resident comes in.
10.
And he's got a doctor in training with him, not quite a student.
11.
And so now 3 doctors. Did I count 3 doctors there so far at Emerge?
We're at 11. That's all I know.
Well, fair enough. So 3 doctors, a student doctor, 2 nurses, and a student nurse.
I think that's 8 at the hospital
Alone.
plus the 3 at the Cobequid. So that's our 11.
No, that's 12.
12.
Because there were 3 nurses and a doctor at Cobb.
Oh, we're at 12. I missed one somewhere. All right, so 12.
So the doctor in training and a resident come in, and they're like, "Okay, we're gonna slice you up." Good.
Are these ones that have already seen it?
Yes, these are both guys who've already seen.
These
it.
are repeats?
Yeah, they're repeats.
I don't get that many repeats looking at my junk.
An Indian guy named Larry.
Is that 13?
No,
Oh, that's
one of the
you're
docs.
confusing me. There's so many people.
And Josh. So they come in and they're like, "Okay, we're gonna freeze you up. It's gonna hurt like hell." Oh, great. So they jam a bunch of needles.
Hold on,
into
you're on
the-
first name bases with the guys seeing your junk?
They did introduce themselves. You
don't call
they
them
didn't buy me
doctor?
dinner first, but at least they gave me their names.
All right.
So yeah, they jam. Got to be at least 4 or 5 needles in and around the area, and they weren't lying. It hurt like hell. I've never had any shot or any needle, or I mean, I've gotten all kinds of blood work because of the diabetes lately. It hurt like hell.
And out of all the people I know, I'm pretty sure you have the highest tolerance for pain.
Yeah,
Out of anybody I know.
I'd say it's pretty close.
So I'm pretty sure I would have passed out or screamed like a girl.
Yeah, it's possible. So they start cutting around, and I don't feel a thing except for pressure. It felt weird. Anyway, they did a cut, and then Larry told the student, make another cut here, make another cut here, make it wider. I'm like, damn, what the hell are they doing down there? So they get 3, 4, 5 cuts in, and Larry says one thing, as a patient, you probably never want to hear about a wound in your life.
Did he say oops?
He said, stick your finger in there.
Oh.
And of course, I mean, what am I going to do? I'm just laying there on the table. Luckily, I can't feel it, but I do.
Whose finger? Do you want to stick your finger in or the other
he
doctor?
wanted the other doctor.
Okay.
The one he was teaching how to do it. He wanted him to jam his finger in there and quote unquote look for tunneling, whatever the hell that is.
Ew.
Yeah. So procedure done. Finally, after many hours, I got some pain medication because my stepmother, who had taken over duties of keeping me company for the wife, because she had to go home and get kids off of school and whatnot, she advocated for me. I got some pain meds, blah blah blah. We're gonna keep you overnight. Really?
Well, dude, they just had their finger inside you.
Last time it happened at Cobequid, I was in and out in less than 2 or 3 hours. So that's fine. And there's rumors going around. Where are they going to send me? They're going to send me to this unit on the 4th floor. Oh, no, they don't have any beds. All right, so what's going to happen is you're going to stay in this private room that you're in, that we did the procedure in, until midnight. at midnight, we're going to throw you into the emergency department. And you're going to spend the night there because nobody will be on this unit.
I would punch somebody if you try to stick me in the emergency room all night.
I'm like, really? Well, apparently the emergency room has changed. I didn't get to see it, but apparently it's all like pods now. Like
is it? Last time I was
almost
there
like
after the car accident, it was just, a bed
and
with
curtains.
With curtains, yeah.
No, apparently they're all like 24 different separate pods or something.
Well, it wouldn't be that bad, but I know
it's still emerged.
When I was there for the car accident, just to get my neck checked out, and I was sitting there in the stupid bed with the curtain between me, the crash cart was right in front of me.
Yeah, that does.
And I don't like hospitals as it is.
And
if someone had come and grabbed that crash cart, I would have vomited and fainted on the spot.
That would have been funny. I would have liked to have been there for that. So it turns out anyway that finally they decided they're going to send me to this unit. It's called 7.1. Turns out that that's actually a cardiovascular surgery unit. So I don't know why I was sent there. But anyway, I was also sent to a portion of it called the step down, which means no TV for Mark for the night. Because they didn't have TVs in that section.
I wouldn't have been able to go to sleep.
But we now have new people.
Oh, so we're at 12, right?
Yeah, we're at 12.
12 is the magic number so far.
This all started. I got to Halifax Emerge around 11, so this is the afternoon sometime by now. And one nurse comes in, dresses, bang. There's one, so we're to 13.
13. Unlucky 13, bitch.
Her partner nurse
14
comes in at another point. Shift change happens at 7 o'clock. New night nurse.
15.
Second night nurse.
16.
And then it's a bunch of repeat people, those same people, because I'm getting, different painkillers all night. And just on a side note, at this particular junction, most people know when you have certain appointments, you're not supposed to eat first.
Right.
Right? The night before.
Apple a day keeps the doctor away.
The night before, you're not supposed to eat. So I did that, just in case. 38 hours later is when they let me eat again. Because the whole night I was there, they're like, well, we might send you to surgery. I said, why? You already cut a giant hole in my leg. What's there left to surgerize? Anyway, one of my night nurses had sympathy on me, and she gave me some chicken broth. So I love her. She was fantastic, because at least I got something with flavor that wasn't just water. So next day comes, yeah, we're going to send you home today. So it's still, we got 2 more day nurses. So that's 18 now, I think.
I think so. 18 or 19.
Then then the doc, the head resident, and the 2 docs that did it came by to review. Said we don't need to send you to surgery. Oh, great, thanks. So finally got discharged. But because they jammed some gauze into the hole, that has to be changed every day. So now I've got daily visits from the Victorian Order of Nurses.
And it's a different one every day, isn't it?
Almost. In the last 15 days, I believe it is, there have been...
It's 14 days, because it was a Thursday. Oh, no, but they would have started not after that.
They would have started Friday.
So it's
okay,
13.
So since Friday 2 weeks ago, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, fuck. So it's either
26, I believe.
It's either 26. I think it's 26. Yep.
So that's my just. I mean, it's not a particular funny story.
Oh, it's funny to me.
or tragic.
It's tragic and funny that 20. It's funny that 26 people, including females, have seen your junk with no happiness, and it's tragic that 26 people have seen your junk without anything happening.
In a 2-week period.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I thought so. So anyway, that's where I'm healing well. There could be potential for more strangers to see it because I am still seeing the daily nurses. So,
so I guess for the next
we may
few,
hit 30.
Think so? I mean, I think that's definitely an ongoing. We should keep our audience abreast of how many people have seen it.
Yeah.
We won't even mention it. We'll just say a number at the beginning before we even introduce ourselves. We'll just say a number.
That sounds like a plan. I agree with that. That's good.
That way we don't have to. Well, maybe we'll touch on it a little bit and just say the new number that have seen your junk in X amount of time is.
We can just call it junk sightings.
I don't know if I have a theme for that.
Probably not.
All right.
Maybe get like one of those like the periscope and sonar.
Boom.
Yeah, exactly. Sound settings from a submarine or something.
Excellent. Well, I guess that's it for stories for this week. Let's get into some funny news from around the world. At least we can't get sued for the fucking news intro.
No.
I like the news intro because it means not getting sued. And it sounds kind of cool.
Is that absolutely true, though? What if the guy that...
It's
came
on his
up with
website
that
for
clip-
royalty free.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He's
fair
got
enough.
like a ton of them
Oh, well,
that he's created himself.
just for that kind of stuff?
Yep. And you can get like 10, 15, 30-second clips of all the different types of news music he's got.
Well, that's fun.
So, before we get into our funny news from around the world, we got to talk about the lockout. Day 54.
Being Canadian has to be done.
Yeah. Day 54. We're recording on Thursday, so this is their third day in a row meeting.
Yep. With number 4 actually apparently still coming tomorrow.
Yep. The PA made 2 proposals on Wednesday, which are obviously not 100% because the lockout's not over.
No, but they're still talking, so that's
So
a good
sign for
sign.
hockey
fans.
They didn't get rejected in 10 minutes. So maybe
Yeah.
maybe we're getting closer.
Day 4 is still planned, so that's a really good sign.
Yes.
But I would just like to bring up the fact that the NHL, the owner side, is considering, I think it's the owner side, allowing amnesty, buyouts. I think it would probably be like 1 contract per team. But I think that's fantastic news because that
You just want to get rid of Gomez.
the Canadians can get rid of Scott Gomez.
Unfortunately, I don't think it applies to Brian Burke, so I'm screwed.
Well, actually, a lot of people, where I first read it was on Facebook through, because I follow The Score, the TV channel, and they were the one that posted it, and there were a lot of comments for people saying commissaric.
yeah. I mean, I think I got enough
Because
cap.
when he hit Toronto, he went downhill.
He did.
He was much better on Montreal.
It's true.
But I don't care. I don't give a rat's ass what the Leafs do as far as that goes.
Lick a
as
dick.
long as it happens and the Canadians get rid of Scott Gomez's I think it's $1 million a year. That's 2 or 3 journeyman salaries right there.
And he had 1 goal last year? Or, I mean, I just remember it taking him
It
a long
was
time.
single digits, I'm pretty sure.
It's sad. He used to be such a good player. Kind of like Commissaric was a good player on Montreal until he got to Toronto.
And you would have thought that Gomez having a former teammate in Gianta with him would have kept some of that going.
Yeah, but
no.
that's it for hockey. Hopefully by the time everyone listens to this,
It may be over.
it could be over.
That's true.
So that would be a bonus.
Fingers crossed, everybody.
All right. Humorous news from around the world. Mine doesn't come from that far away. It's actually from the States.
Oh, okay.
From Salmon, Idaho.
Ah.
Headline reads, Idaho scientist seeks to launch aerial Bigfoot search with blimp. It's from Reuters. We'll give our credit where credit's due. Laura Zuckerman. Let's see. An Idaho scientist shrugging off skeptical fellow scholars in his quest for evidence of Bigfoot has turned his sights skyward with plans to float a blimp over the U.S. Mountain West in search of the mythic ape-like creature. What's his name? His name's Jeffrey Meldrum. I'm not going to read the whole article because it's actually semi-lengthy and I don't feel like reading all night.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he works for Idaho State University, and they've approved the proposal. But
This blimp must be cheap or something.
well, he's seeking to raise $300,000 plus in private donations to build the remote-controlled dirigible.
Kickstarter, baby.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's not like the university's funding it, it doesn't seem, but they've approved it. I imagine you'd have to get approval for something like that, even if they're not funding it.
Yeah.
But it's going to be equipped with
Who knows what else he'll find flying overhead? Who knows?
It's true. Moonshine stills.
Exactly. And meese.
So it's going to be equipped with thermal imaging camera, and he's just hoping to catch an aerial glimpse of Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch. That's in the article. But he's it's not like this guy has never done stuff. He's written a book before about it. What's it called? Sasquatch Legend Meets Science.
Ooh.
So he says the undertaking represents a giant leap in the quest for an animal he believes may be a descendant from a giant ape that once inhabited Asia and crossed the Bering Land Bridge to North America.
Interesting.
So, but of course, everybody else scoffs at him.
Oh, absolutely. And I didn't read the article, but I passed over one that said somebody or a group of people believe there's actually colonies of Bigfoot or Big Feet, Sasquatches, whatever you want to call them, living in a certain area. I can't even remember where, but so, the belief in that guy is definitely up there.
So, that's the gist of it. Somebody else shits on him. He thinks it's a good idea. I don't know why anyone hasn't done it before. Blimp makes sense. I guess if you fly a plane, they would hide from noise or helicopter.
I suppose.
But I don't know. Seems unlikely that something's remained hidden that long.
Exactly. I find it highly dubious that they're going to find.
But,
they'll see something and claim it's Bigfoot.
Yeah.
But it won't be Bigfoot.
No. But, I don't like the argument against is that they've never found a body or bones or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because bears, they've never found a bear that has died of natural causes in the woods before. They go so far back in the woods and hide to die.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So, we know bears exist.
Yes, we do.
But they've never found one that died of natural causes.
Yeah, like I said, I've heard that. I think that's an interesting little fact.
So, if that's the possibility with that, there's the possibility that there is no bones or skeleton found of Bigfoot.
It's true.
It doesn't make me think it exists. I want it to exist. I want that to exist. I want the Loch Ness Monster to exist.
Absolutely.
I watch Destination Truth just to be like ghost hunters, and they never fucking find anything.
No, they don't.
They find stuff they can't explain, but that doesn't prove anything. But Destination Truth goes after weird ones, too.
Yeah.
Like, they don't just go after Loch Ness and Bigfoot. They'll do ghosts. And
what's is it the Mothman thing from, is it Virginia?
Yeah.
Another one of those mythical things.
So that's my story. Not really that funny, but he is trying to raise $300,000 personally for this. So
my story is funny to the observer, and I'd say it's a lesson for people.
Are we going to educate people?
No, well,
I don't think people are tuning in us for any type of education.
Maybe warn them. Because I don't think people that we know well that are listening to this aren't the type of people to take all of their savings and put them somewhere stupid, like the old proverbial under the mattress or floorboards somewhere in the house.
Oh, speak for yourself.
Oh, well.
I have it hidden in a pot.
Yeah?
That I cook with.
All $20? All
$20.
So, in the Ukraine, there was a family that had, equivalency-wise to U.S. dollars, about $4,000.
Why would you use U.S. dollars?
Because that's what the article used. It was in Ukrainian currency. It was like 3,600, whatever they use, and about 600 and some euros, I believe, is what was actually.
Oh, 600 or something euros would only be like $1,200, wouldn't it be?
I don't know.
Well, euros at like
it was $4,000.
$4,000
$4,000 US, so 600 euros, and then 3,600 of these Ukrainian.
Oh, okay. They have 600 euros plus this.
Plus
okay,
the 3,600 Ukrainian.
I thought it was this equals 600.
No.
Okay, gotcha.
So $4,000. Let's just say it was in U.S. currency for fun.
Okay.
$4,000 hidden in their couch.
Okay.
One day, and I believe
I want to guess. Tell me they sold their couch.
No.
Okay.
One day, their 9-year-old child discovered said stash, and over a period of a few days, spent all $4,000 on candy.
Nice. That hits close to home, you know.
$4,000 in candy in like a week.
Dude, former Mark and Adam could have done that in a weekend.
We could have, but and could have is the operative word.
Would have.
I don't know. $4,000.
Dude, if this was a decade ago and Halo 4 had just come out, we would buy $4,000 worth of candy just to stay up all weekend playing it.
Well, maybe $4,000 worth of chips and pop.
That's true. Junk food. It would be $4,000 of junk
food, yeah. So they finally realized what had happened, and I mean, can you just imagine you had $4,000 and that's your life savings, and because of your 9-year-old kid, you now have nothing. How much
did he eat it all?
I don't know. They didn't say, and the parents didn't notice the candy either, so I don't know. He must have had his own stash somewhere.
Yeah, I guess it's better than stashing
But the kids,
weed.
they confronted him and he copped to it, kind of thing. So the lesson, I guess, is don't keep your money in your couch.
Don't let your kid go to the store. Like why is your 9-year-old going to the store by himself?
Okay, think of it this way: if you lived in my house,
Yep.
I'd have no problem with my 9-year-old going down to G's Convenience.
I guess not. You still got to cross the street without a crosswalk.
It's true.
Convenience store's even closer to my place than it is yours. I don't let them go down.
Yeah, but your kids would have to cross Sackville Drive.
It's true. It's true.
Whereas my kids would have to cross Millwood Drive.
It's true.
So yeah, I thought it was funny. Like, can you imagine finding the kid's stash $4,000 worth of fuzzy peaches?
It was probably all black licorice too.
Yeah,
What a waste.
Gross. Now, before we move on to any other topics, I have a news question.
Okay, I'm ready. I might have a news answer.
I think you do.
Okay.
And you may not. You may have heard of it. You may have not. How does it feel? It's not major. I think it is kind of. I think it's more major than people have let it slide. But how does it feel to have the guy you voted for mayor, before he even officially took the job, having a controversy?
Oh, I must have missed it. What's the controversy?
Okay, well, you heard the first one. You know about the first one.
But him not saying who his
Campaign contributors
yeah,
were.
which I was fine with.
And Tom Martin and the other guy, Fred, can't remember his last name, openly saying who theirs were.
The rules say he doesn't have to, so he didn't. Rules say he didn't have to until after the campaign was done.
Now, the rules also don't say you can't take a salary from your campaign contributions, but guess who did?
He did.
$30,000
Yeah.
for 3 months.
Well, I mean, he said that's equivalent of what he was making, would have been making, had he stayed at his job.
Well, you know what? You should have stayed at your job. Anyway, I just thought it was funny that.
I think it's odd as well.
I mean,
it's
some
a
people
little
are already.
much.
I've even heard on the news him called Kelly Jr.
But he's not taking it from the city. He's taking it from people who have donated to his campaign. They've donated the money to him.
Why did it have to be a secret?
It's not a secret. He said
It was a secret.
until
He refused. If everybody else, even the losers that everybody knew wasn't going to win, I think said, yeah, this is who gave us money.
Yeah, but he said right
And
from
this
the
is where it
get-go
went.
that he wasn't going to say until the campaign was over.
Because he didn't want people to know he was taking a salary.
It's true.
I just thought it was funny. I mean, I don't care, whatever. It's mayor. I mean, it's not like mayor can screw us over as much as, say, prime minister or even premier. But
is that a normal election process?
I don't think so.
I think it is.
I don't
bet
think
you
there's
it is.
a rule against it, but I don't think a lot of people do it.
I bet you anyone.
I mean, $10,000 a month. Okay, you know what? That's the equivalent of what you made at your job. Do you need it?
Probably not.
Do you need $10,000 a month while you're running for mayor? I mean, let's be fair. This guy was pretty damn sure he was probably going to win this thing,
Well, yeah.
right? So he knew the salary was going to start rolling in pretty soon.
Yeah. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he did.
I thought it was funny. Days before he even gets sworn in, it's like, oh, by the way.
But I think I read something about it being standard. I mean, all the other guys running aren't career politicians, so they don't know what you're supposed to do. Like, I mean,
that's true.
like maybe anyone else who's done it before knows you do that because I mean, it's true. I mean, some of the guys might have really needed if they weren't doing any other job besides campaigning for those 3 or 4 months. Like if I went to campaign for something and couldn't work, I would need an income.
Yeah, it's true.
My income isn't $10,000 a month. Otherwise, we'd have better fucking equipment.
Yeah, I probably also wouldn't be campaigning if I was making $10,000 a month.
But I would need my salary for those 3 months. No matter how much money was coming if I won, I would need it for that.
I guess the whole thing boils down to is I'm not a campaign contributor. I never have been. I honestly don't foresee me ever being a campaign contributor. But if I gave $10, if I gave $10,000, I don't think that's where I'd want my contribution to go.
No, and especially if you're the person giving $10. The person giving $10,000 probably knows part of it gets used for that.
And that may be true.
Right? That's the thing. We don't know how that stuff works. So I'm not going to say it's good. I'm not going to say it's bad. It seems realistic to me. It just seems like an awful lot.
Yeah, and I mean, the whole thing boils down for me is we're not even started yet, and there's already problems.
No, there's no problems. It'll blow over.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even one of the radio hosts I listen to all the time who generally, if he disagrees with a politician, gives them crap, kind of let it slide. So
yeah. Makes me believe it's more standard than we know.
It's possible. I mean, the radio host's biggest problem was, why didn't you tell people? He didn't have so much problem with taking the salary. He just like, why? Well, what's the big problem with telling?
I'm okay with the not telling because it goes part with if you're not going to say it goes with the total campaign donation thing. He goes, I'm not saying who donated until it's done. So he's not going to say anything. He never said he wasn't going to say what anything was spent on until it was done. So
yeah, but that's not the problem. The problem is why.
It's probably for that exact reason. But I mean, whatever.
But yeah. Anyway, that's all I mean, those 2 news stories plus that question is really all I had for any kind of news this week.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's probably time for some movie stuff, eh?
I would say that's a good idea.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
And now that the crazy-ass long intro is done.
Yeah. Too long intro.
It is, but it's funny. It's still
a work in progress.
It's a work in progress. It still amuses me.
Yeah, it's hilarious. When I listened to the cast the other day, I didn't skip it. I let the whole thing go.
We're gonna start movies with I mentioned trying to come up with my top 10 favorite movies. Not what I think are the best movies, but what are my favorite movies. Like what movies I can watch over and over again, maybe have touched me in that special way.
Yep.
And I believe because I was going to do
pants or in the heart.
Yes. Well, these ones aren't pants touching ones.
Yeah.
That would be a whole different list.
It's true.
But I believe you came up with a list as well.
I did. When I saw that you were going to do the list, I thought to myself, well, you know what? I'll see if I can whip something up.
All right. So I've got my 10.
As do I.
And I've got 4 more in my honorable mentions.
Yeah, I kind of thought the same way, actually.
So, should I do the list first and then the honorable mentions, or do the honorable mentions first?
I'd cut to the meat. Get to the 10 first.
All right. Okay. So here's the top 10. Yep. They're in no particular order.
Okay.
All right. Empire Strikes Back.
Excellent.
Just, it's my childhood.
Yep.
And my best of the Star Wars movies. I love it.
Absolutely.
Just, it's a great movie. But I mean, it's so much. My childhood is Star Wars related that it's just, I love it.
Clearly, Empire is the best,
and I can watch it over and over again.
Absolutely.
Superman, original.
Okay.
I mean, like the tagline for the movie says, "You will believe a man can fly." And when you're a kid watching that movie, you don't think about special effects.
No,
that is
it's
Superman. Christopher Reeve is Superman.
Yes.
Even though it has a stupid ending, flying the world backwards.
Yeah, a little bit.
Which apparently, this is off topic, is that it's not him turning back the world back in time. It's him flying fast enough that just he's going back in time. He's not spinning the world backwards. That's just showing him flying so fast. But whatever.
Okay.
Love the movie. It just, that one touches the heart.
Yep.
Because, when he rips open that shirt and there's the S, it's just like sniff, tear.
Iconic scene.
Next. This one, I picked one movie, but it actually is a series.
Mm-hmm.
So I put Clerks.
Okay.
But it's really the whole View Askew, anything that deals with that. Well, originally it was a trilogy.
Jersey trilogy.
But the Jersey Chronicles.
Yeah.
So Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Clerks 2. Any one of those movies.
Jersey Girl?
No, Jersey Girl's separate.
I know.
I do like Jersey Girl still, even though so many people hate it. But any of those other ones, the Askew ones, anything with Jay and Silent Bob, I can throw any one of those movies in and be happy that I put it in.
Yep. Agreed.
So, next one's American History X.
Oh, that's a good one.
That one touches you in the heart as well.
Oh, the ending of that movie is amazing.
Like, that's almost tear-worthy.
Yeah.
But it's not quite. It's not quite tear-worthy, but I mean, here's a guy who gets his life back together, getting his family's life back together, bang. Brother's dead.
Yep, just like that.
Spoilers. You haven't seen American History X by now, you're an idiot.
Yeah, or you were too young and your parents wouldn't let you.
Yeah. So, next one. Across the Universe.
Yep.
That's the
one I still have to see.
Yes, musical, all done with Beatles songs. And it's good because I'm not even that big a Beatles fan.
Yeah, not me either, really.
But every song fits perfectly in it. It's a musical. It's a story told through song, but you had to tell a story using somebody else's songs that are already written.
Yep.
The movie's amazing. I love it.
Until I see it, I'll take your word for it.
Next one is Reign Over Me.
Another excellent movie.
Oh, my God. Like that.
Thank you, Netflix, for that one, by the way.
When I first saw the poster for that, I thought it was going to be a Bob Dylan flick, even though I know it's not a Bob Dylan song. Because, the first thing you see is, Sandler the way he is in the movie.
He looks like Bob Dylan.
Looks just like Bob Dylan.
Yeah, he does.
There's a movie that touches you.
Mm-hmm.
It
doesn't hurt that Don Cheadle's in it. I think he's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, but Sandler just proved that he can go from all those stupid movies that I hate.
Yep.
Like not Tommy Boy, but Billy Madison and all that garbage that I couldn't stand.
What's that one where he was the devil's son?
Little Nicky. I enjoy Little Nicky.
Really? That's one of the worst.
Little Nicky's one of the ones where he's being stupid that I can enjoy.
Yeah, fair enough.
But this is just a
total departure.
Oh my God, proves he can be an amazing actor.
Yeah.
But he is playing a little crazy in it, so I guess it helps him, but
yeah, that's probably true.
It's good. I got another honorable mention one with him in it.
Oh, okay.
Next one is High Fidelity, which I thought was great because we're doing a top 10 list, and that movie's all top 5 lists.
That's true.
But I think that movie's just fun. And Jack Black and everybody else who's in it is hilarious. All the little bit parts.
That's John Cusack, right?
Yep.
I love John Cusack. Bruce Point Blank.
Yep. 1408.
Yep.
That was surprisingly good. I thought it was going to be terrible, but it was pretty good. So High Fidelity made the list. I just like it. Fight Club.
Another good one.
Fight Club.
I'm starting to think there's a lot of movies I left off my list.
Yeah, I know you are. I bet you when I hear your list, it's going to be like, fuck. But Fight Club, just because one of those movies you didn't really see the ending coming. You kind of did.
I wouldn't even say the ending. I would say
The whole premise, I guess.
the halfway point.
Yeah.
You didn't see it coming. You're just like, okay, it's about fighting. No. Anyway.
And Meatloaf has boobs in it.
He sure does.
Next, you're gonna love this choice, but you're not gonna have expected it. Benny and June.
Oh no, one of my favorites of all time.
I love that movie.
Yep.
That another heartwarming. I got a lot of heartwarming movies on this.
You do.
I've been emotional lately.
Yeah.
I think like this last 35 years of trying to keep every emotion I have in check are just flying out when I watch movies and TV now.
Little Sandy this week.
Oh, not just this week; it's every week. Like I mean, there was only one or two movies that used to make me cry every time. I cried at the end of Walking Dead on Sunday. Like it was horrible. Well, I mean, not full blown cry, but I teared up.
Yeah.
It's like my new Lost. It's like a TV show where I care about the characters.
Gotcha.
And I don't have that very often. And last on the top 10 is Animal House.
Fantastic. A little shout out to John Belushi.
Every time they're going over the GPAs and the dean goes, and Mr. Blutarski, 0.0. Die. And when he grabs the guy's guitar, he's singing that lame song, and he smashed against the wall, die. I think the movie's brilliant.
It is.
Like, it's hilarious.
It's sad that we lost him so early.
Yeah. But you know what? If we hadn't lost him so early, maybe he wouldn't be so brilliant. Maybe he would have done
I would
a bunch of
agree.
shitty movies.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's the thing with guys like that. It's like, I mean, it's like how much everyone says they love Brandon Lee after The Crow. Well, you got to remember, he only filmed not even half that fucking movie.
Yep.
And have you ever seen any other Brandon Lee movies? Like Rapid Fire?
I think Rapid Fire is the only one.
Bullshit. Yeah. What about, one I actually kind of like, but it's because Dolph Lundgren's in it. That Showdown in Little Tokyo.
No.
It's funny.
All right.
But it's Dolph Lundgren, Tia Carrera, and
sounds like a winner cast.
Brandon Lee. All right. Honorable mention time.
Yep.
Boondock Saints.
Yeah. Original was brilliant.
And the funny thing about the sequel is it's odd to have a sequel that has the entire production, writer, director, and cast of the first one, and it just fucking sucks.
Yeah, I couldn't bring myself to watch the second one.
It's
actually.
terrible. I would not recommend it to anybody.
Yeah.
But that guy that made Boondock Saints is an asshole. You ever seen the documentary?
No.
Oh. Watch the documentary and then see if you even want to bother watching Boondock Saints again.
Oh, really?
Oh,
That
he's
good?
such a douchebag.
Wow.
Utter asshole. Get another series in the honorable mentions, and it's Batman.
Yep.
But it's not every Batman movie. It's like the 1960s Batman, the 1989 Tim Burton one.
Yep.
Batman Returns somewhat. I'll watch it if it's on TV, but I'll never...
Only because of Keaton, right?
Keaton and Christopher Walken's in it.
Well, yeah.
And Michelle Pfeiffer and Leather, too.
Yeah, true. Fair enough.
And then, of course, the Christopher Nolan ones.
Yep.
Like, I can put any of those movies on and be happy. Because, I mean, how can you... Especially the 1960s one. How can you not be happy with shark repellent? And how can you not laugh and smile when he's running around with that bomb and says straight out, some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Yeah.
When I watched Dark Knight Rises, I was hoping that fucking Bale was going to say it.
Yeah.
He's flying out. He's like, some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. Like, that would have made me leave the theater even happier than I was.
That would have been too
I mean,
funny.
I was pretty happy leaving, but that would have been even better. Funny enough, leads into my next honorable mention, which is American Psycho.
Fair enough.
You know, not a fan. It's fun.
I don't know if I've seen it all.
It's one of those movies, and the book. The book made me feel so dirty. It was like that first time I watched that South Park episode with the abortion song.
Oh.
It's like, what am I feeling? Am I offended? Is that the feeling I'm having right now? I don't think nothing had ever offended me before. But that book is offensive.
Ouch.
It's rough, and it's slow too. But that's one of those books I think if I started reading it before seeing the movie, I wouldn't have finished the book. It's that slow going.
Okay.
So props to anyone who finished that book before it was a movie.
Good.
I mean, it's good. And I mean, I got the movie. I mean, a lot of people don't understand what happens at the end of American Psycho.
Right.
But I did, and I like it. I think it's just interesting. Interesting book, interesting movie.
All right.
Usual Suspects.
Fantastic.
First movie ever that I had no idea what was coming at the end.
Yep.
I mean, when it comes to a real mystery, I mean, most movies I don't know what's going to happen at the end. But I
not
mean,
exactly. But
I mean, the first mystery movie where it was just like jaw dropping.
the first blow your mind movie.
Like holy fuck.
Yeah. What just happened?
So that's it for my honorable mentions. So recap on top 10: Empire Strikes Back, Superman, the whole View Askew universe, American History X, Across the Universe, Reign Over Me, High Fidelity, Fight Club, Benny and June, Animal House, in no particular order.
Excellent. It's a good list.
Oh, my throat's dry.
And honorable.
I'm taking a drink while you say your list.
And honorable mentions. Very good. My list is also, I decided to do 10 as well, and in no particular order, because as I thought to myself, if I actually tried to number my favorite movies from, most favorite to least most favorite, I'd still be doing it next week. So, in no particular order, and I've got some blockbusters on here. Braveheart.
Oh, yeah.
Before Mel Gibson went batshit crazy.
I forgot. There's a movie that in my new emotional state. Oh, God.
That was got some teary moments. Absolutely.
Jesus,
the end of that movie, and when they take the love of his life, those two.
Oh, what about the look on his face when the Bruce fucking double crosses him?
Oh, that too. Yeah. So there you go. Another blockbuster, and kind of along the same veins when it comes to being the fact that it's historical, Gladiator.
I like Gladiator, but
I just think I don't like Gladiator for probably a lot of the reasons most people do. I think Joaquin Phoenix is brilliant in it.
That movie's a slow movie.
It is
a very slow movie, but the payoffs are so good.
They are,
because it starts so big,
and
then just dies
for quite a while.
But then comes back.
And big time.
But you have to be committed to that dead time in order to get to the next payoff.
Yep, absolutely. Next, I would compare this maybe in a strange way to your Across the Universe choice, Big Fish.
Oh, my God. I just watched that a couple weeks ago. I can't believe that didn't make my honorable mentions.
Incredible.
It does now. It's on my honorable mentions list.
Incredible movie.
Yep.
Those who haven't seen it, you have to.
It's absolutely brilliant.
Ewan McGregor, just absolutely fantastic. And a great story. Because it's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. It dropped my jaw within the first 5 minutes. Bigger, longer, and uncut. South Park,
yeah.
Because, well, it just, if you've seen it, you know why.
It's a brilliant musical.
Yeah, absolutely. Switching to the action genre, Shoot 'em Up.
Oh, excellent.
Again, if you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor and be prepared for an hour and a half, hour and 45 minute long cliche.
Oh, yeah. Most over-the-top action. I mean,
if you can imagine it, it probably happens.
I will give one scene that will make you want to watch it.
Okay.
Girl gives birth.
Yep.
He cuts the umbilical cord by shooting it.
Yes, he does.
And 2 people, count them, 2 people die by carrot.
Yep. And you'll have to see
Enough
it
said.
to find out how.
Enough said.
And surprisingly enough, I have an actor from Shoot 'em Up, Clive Owen, who makes the list twice. Because along the lines of Usual Suspects, not a frickin' clue how the movie was going to end. Inside Man. It's a bank heist movie.
Never seen it.
Do yourself a favor. I think it's on Netflix. If it is,
I will check tonight.
check it out because, again, the ending, brilliant. Definitely one of the best heist movies I've seen. Next, the only movie officially on each of our lists, although yours is honorable mention, Usual Suspects.
Yeah.
Again, because the mind
It
fuck
almost
that is the ending.
It almost made my top 10. But when I looked over my top 10, there wasn't anything I wanted to take out
Yeah, I
to put
can
it
see
in.
that.
So that's why it made honorable mentions.
Again, going with mind fucks. And because it was such a mind fuck, I had to put it on the list. It's not a movie you can watch it repeatedly and still get enjoyment out of it, but the very first time you see it is absolutely the best, no question.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
7?
The Game.
Oh, The Game! That
Absolutely incredible
that one
movie.
is, and it's got Michael Douglas. So I mean, the
It
fact
does.
that I like a Michael Douglas movie blows my mind.
Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, even Sean Penn was really great in that movie, too.
Sean Penn's great in a lot of things,
He
though.
is. But I think back then was kind of like, was that almost maybe near the start of his I'm not punching cameramen and stuff anymore?
I don't know.
It's hard to say. Finally, number 10, I chose a specific View Askew universe movie. I went with Dogma
I know you love that movie.
because there's just so many things I agree with in that movie, and I thought it was brilliant. And actually, that's not my final one. Sorry. As I was reading the list, I decided to skip one until the very end because if I had to choose a favorite, I probably may put this as number 1, and that's
Ooh.
Heat.
That is an excellent flick.
For at least a year or two, I watched it every Sunday
Yeah, we had the
on VHS.
we had the double VHS of it
The
because
double
we
VHS
were living
tape.
together at that time.
Exactly.
We watched it a lot.
I mean,
Most realistic gunfight
yeah,
in a movie ever.
it's a great story. De Niro and Pacino are both brilliant. Even
Ooh-ah!
Val Kilmer's great,
That's Val Kilmer. Besides The Doors, that is Val Kilmer's best role.
probably. And of course, you get the iconic scene that a lot of people forget about. I mean, everybody was talking about in the last couple of years that movie. I can't even remember what it's called. De Niro and Pacino on screen together, blah blah. But for me, that's Heat for sure because
That's their first time together.
The
is
scene in the
Heat.
coffee shop is just absolutely fantastic.
Funny thing about that movie is I thought they were brothers at the beginning.
Yeah, you mentioned that once.
Only
before.
because I think at one point, at least one of them mentions a brother he doesn't really know.
Yeah.
And I thought the other one did too. It's like, they're going to be brothers. Because I think at that time there was a lot of movies that were doing fucked up
Yeah.
endings. So my mind was always going to, all right, what's the twist here?
Yeah. And of course, as you mentioned, the shootout scene is just it's incredible.
It's not over the top. It's realistic.
Yeah.
It feels like if you were watching news footage, that's what you would see.
Yep. So that's the official top 10. Honorable mentions. I have a couple. I'd like to throw. I considered actually putting Empire on the list, but I would like to throw the trilogy as a whole as
Okay.
an honorable mention. Empire is the best.
I thought of throwing the trilogy as a whole, but where I was already going to put the whole Askewniverse, and
Yep.
at first it was going to be Batman was going to be in the top 10, I decided just to straight out pick Empire.
Yeah. Another series, and I include. There's no one movie. Most of the Halloween movies, just because.
Really, most of them?
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously not Seasons of the Witch.
Well, yeah, but I
let's
mean,
not get-
I know. But I
let's
mean,
not get
past the
too
first
silly.
two, it just kind of gets ridiculous.
But you know what? I even liked 4 and 5, and it's because I like Michael Myers so much.
I can see that. You mean The Shape?
Yeah. I mean, as far as it goes, Freddy and Jason are both great in their own way, and they're fun, campy movies. And well, I mean, let's be fair. The first 1 or 2 Nightmares could be viewed as actually scary. But
Well, the remake can definitely be.
so
Can be.
maybe I'd like to say an honorable mention to Mike Myers or Michael Myers.
Done and
Mike
done.
Not that douche. So I married an axe murderer. And because you mentioned it, I'm going to throw Benny and June up.
I forgot to mention one of my honorable mentions.
I am.
Yep. It was the other Sandler movie, 50 First Dates.
Oh, that's right. You did.
There's
mention
the
it.
movie that makes me tear up every time.
Excellent.
I thought, even though I know it's going to, it still does.
I could probably come up with another 20 honorable mentions.
Oh, so
I'm
could
not
I.
gonna. So I'll just.
But I'm just ending it at 50 First Dates just because that's one that makes me tear up every time and has for years. That's not a new emotional Adam. That's right there with Armageddon as the only two movies that make me tear up.
Yeah.
Before,
Yeah.
back when I was emotionally void.
Absolutely. I think I actually teared up in Armageddon in the theater.
It's hard not to.
Yep. So to recap, Braveheart, Heat, Gladiator, Big Fish, South Park, Shoot 'Em Up, Inside Man, Usual Suspects, The Game, and Dogma.
Whew, it's quite the lists.
Yep. That's an excellent, actually, top 20 list if you combine our list.
It is. Because there's not, surprisingly, not that much crossover.
No, just the Askew universe and Usual Suspects, sort of.
Well, I had some movie reviews for tonight.
Yep.
But we are running way fucking long.
Okay.
So maybe I'll save those.
I have one movie thing I'd like to mention.
But
I combined it in Geek News.
So I think we'll just jump right into the Geek News, and I'll talk about Silent Hill probably next week, because I saw that tonight on a date. That's right, a fucking date. So let's whip our geeks out, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
That's a huge geek.
That intro is definitely going nowhere.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, so Geek News. What do you got, my friend?
Well, everybody should know that's an Xbox fan and knows me that it's Halo Week.
Yes, I heard your wife's a Halo widow.
Yeah. Well, when I went to Walmart to pick it up the other day, I asked a guy, I said, give me a copy of Halo 4 and the number to a divorce lawyer because the wife's probably going to want one.
Did he give you the number?
He didn't. He didn't even get the joke, I don't think.
Really?
No.
Oh, stupid blue smocks.
You know, my humor, yeah, exactly. My humor's wasted on Walmart employees. So, I've got 1.5 bits of geek news. The whole one, of course, is Halo 4 itself. However, I discovered, and I knew it was coming, but I discovered, for anybody that's got an Xbox and has played Halo before, probably is aware of something called Halo Waypoint.
Yes, it's
on the
little...
Xbox. It's like a hub for
Yeah.
Halo. It's got everything. It's got red versus blue episodes. It's got your entire career as a Halo player. Like
It has
Halo-
red versus blue episode, like the new one, like this season's?
Yeah, it's like episode 15 was up recently or something like that.
Because they just did the season finale for this season, which I haven't watched yet.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the whole season yet. so.
Unfortunately, some of the older episodes are pay episodes, like they are originally on Xbox Live. But anyway, that's beside the point. So it's got, like I say, your entire career from like Halo. Any Halo game that has an achievement is tracked through Halo Waypoints. So like I've got over 4,000 combined Halo achievement points, for example.
Okay.
So Microsoft and 343 Studios, the company that took over Halo from Bungie recently, within the last year or two, decided that they were going to make like a prequel movie for Halo 4.
Oh, like an animated movie or something?
No.
Oh, no.
Completely live action.
Oh.
It's called Forward Unto Dawn, which is also the name of the ship you're on at the beginning of Halo 4. So there's a bit of a tie-in there. But what it is a movie kind of at the beginning of the Covenant War where they're training recruits for the general UNSC Army or whatever. And it focuses on a small group of cadets specifically, one guy named Lasky and another girl named Kyler, who anybody that's seen Narnia will recognize. She's the principal, like she's the sister in all the Chronicles of Narnia movie.
I haven't seen them.
Not even the
Nope.
Not even the Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe?
Nope.
Oh wow, that's actually a really good
Surprisingly,
movie.
I loved the stories when I was a kid, but
Yeah.
and I have kids, but have not watched it.
I haven't seen any of the sequels, but
or even on Netflix, and I
the
haven't
first
even
one was really good. But anyway, so if you had watched that, you'd recognize that girl. So it basically progresses through this one guy, Lasky, has problems with being in the military in the first place, yada, yada, yada. They start coming together as a group, and then it's divided into 5 episodes, by the way. Near the final episode, the Covenant comes to this place where they're being trained. And the production value is insane for a movie that never actually hit theaters and wasn't done by, I don't think, an actual movie studio. But the effects are brilliant. The elites that are in the movie look incredible. The effects on the energy sword, amazing. And then the actual Master Chief, live in person, shows up to rescue these people. It's, if you have an Xbox,
which I do,
download Halo Waypoint if you've never
I've
had
got
it before, and watch the 5 episodes of Halo Forward Unto Dawn. It's actually really good.
I think I'll be doing that tonight.
After you watch it, I was amazed that there's no Halo movie in the theaters yet.
Well, there was going to be, but then they made District 9 instead.
Well, people keep disagreeing over budgets and studios, and get it done, because this little thing that they made just for the Xbox is incredible. Which, of course, leads us into Halo 4.
Which, after the trailers, I want to play now. Did I mention that last week?
You did, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Even
you
more
want to
so.
find out about Mr. Skullface.
Yep.
Yeah. And I won't tell too much about that. But I will say I think I'm on the 4th or 5th level of single player. That's all I've done so far. When a new Halo game comes out, I like to take my time and go through a first run kind of on normal, appreciate the story, see the game for what it's worth. So, in those first 4 levels, I've seen most of the new enemies, most of the new weapons. I've gotten to drive a Warthog, a Ghost, a tank. So I've seen most of the vehicles that make their returns. I've seen all the new weapons. And Mr. Skullface is from the Prometheans, I will tell you that. And they're kind of like these angry AIs. But you wake up near this planet, you get sucked in, and it just goes from there. And so far, the cutscenes are brilliant looking. The main character, Lasky, from Forward Unto Dawn movie, is actually a character in the game that you meet later on. And so far, 5 levels in, it's a great Halo game.
I can't believe you're only 5 levels in.
Well, I've had to work a lot this week, unfortunately, so I haven't had the time to sit down and play
I
with
suppose
it,
real life gets in the way sometimes.
It does. I mean, there's only a couple small issues I had, and that was with some sound effects, which sounds like a weird thing to say, but the assault rifle sounds different than it did in other Halo games. The Warthog sounds different than it did in other games, which is fine. I mean, they still have the Master Chief and Cortana's voice, which are the exact same, so that at least was there. The grunts sound different, so I don't know if that was something, Bungie was like, we're not giving you these sound effects, you're not allowed to use them, or if that was 343's, like, we're making this game ours, this is how shit's gonna sound.
Is there less purple?
Yeah.
Wasn't that a big complaint about Halo games? A lot of purple.
Halo's always been very purple. The 3 principal Halo games. I mean, the Covenant spaceships are purple. You can't get away from it.
But there wasn't going to be Covenant in this one. I thought it was supposed to be all new aliens.
Oh, no, there's both.
Okay.
The Promethean AIs and the Covenant are there. And it's perfectly explained. It's not just a random occurrence.
Oh, no,
so
that's one thing they've always done well.
It makes
is
sense
have
that the Covenant are there
story.
as well.
So
what I'm going to say is I don't expect the Flood to show up.
I don't like the Flood. I thought...
Right? So, I mean, the Flood was a perfect thing in the first game.
Yep.
And maybe a bit the second, but...
To just keep bringing the Flood back, just...
So I think the Flood is done, and hopefully the Prometheans and... I won't say anything other than this guy called the Didac are strong throughout the game. So it's fantastic so far. It looks great. It plays really well. There's some new online stuff which I'm going to get into probably over the weekend, and I'll come back and give multiplayer impressions. But I'm going at least 9.5 so far for single player.
Nice, not bad.
But I'm a Halo fanboy, so
yeah. Wait until I play it, and then we'll average it.
There you go.
That'd be pretty fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit up some because there's some new special co-op just for co-op missions that I'll hit up probably with Mr. Fredericks over the next little while and give some more impressions. But yeah, it's great.
Excellent.
Yeah, and that's my geek. Those were my 2 geek things.
I just got a couple of geek. I guess not headlines so much, just little news bits. Captain America: Winter Soldier has its villain.
Excellent. And who's that?
Crossbones.
Excellent.
Being played by Frank Grillo, which he's been in a bunch of things, like The Gray and stuff like that, but nothing I've seen.
Oh, okay.
So I won't be spoiled by that.
Now, when you said, what's The Gray?
It's a movie.
Okay.
It's... Well,
Yeah, you don't need to explain
Isn't it
yourself.
Liam Neeson? Wolf? Something about a wolf? I don't know. I don't remember. I just remember the name of the movie. S.H.I.E.L.D. TV series starts filming next year.
Okay.
So they're going to bring that to TV instead of making a movie.
Now, I can only assume that Sam Jackson's not going to be in that.
I would imagine he's going to do some guest appearances in it.
So you don't think they'll have their own Fury?
No. Oh, no, because they're sticking in the movie universe. Like, I think it's going to take place before the Avengers.
Yep.
Because Coulson's in it. They're bringing him back.
Okay.
And Clark Gregg is playing him.
I was going to say, is it actually going to be Coulson?
Yeah.
That's good.
So it'll be pre-Avengers. So I think you'll see him every once in a while.
Okay.
But it's going to be more human things and not
But if it's-
supernatural.
If it's that pre-Avengers, they could maybe get away with another actor as Fury.
No,
Younger
you
before
could have
the
a
eye
different
injury.
Well, you could have a different director. Maybe
Yeah.
Fury's not director yet.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, okay.
Like it depends when it takes place, really.
I just, I mean, I guess, and the reason I ask is because I guess I don't want them to ruin continuity, I guess.
No, I think they'll stick with it.
Good.
Hopefully, anyways. And,
On a side note,
oh yeah,
you've watched the other superhero TV show, have you not?
Arrow.
Yeah.
Yep.
And how's that going?
It's
I haven't yet.
It's okay. I was hoping. I mean, it's hard. It's like Smallville could run for 10 seasons because you're starting with him before he's Superman.
Yeah, so you've
got stories.
You do whatever you want, really.
Right. Green Arrow, he's starting as Green Arrow.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool. There's flashbacks to the island where he's learning to be Green Arrow after the shipwreck and stuff like that.
Right.
And I was stoked because all of a sudden there's Floyd Lawton last week on it.
Yeah.
Then they killed him.
No. Well, that's too bad.
But it's going good so far. I'm okay. I'm enjoying it. It's going to take a little bit to get used to. I mean, I don't know that much about Green Arrow.
Yeah, me neither.
So, I mean, they could screw a bunch of stuff up, and I wouldn't even
You'd
know.
have no clue.
Because, I mean, surprisingly, I loved Smallville, even though that was totally different than the Superman mythos.
True.
But I just enjoyed it. I mean, geez, I started watching it in my early 20s.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see how it goes. I don't imagine, because it's grittier and Green Arrow kills people.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen him kill a lot of people so far. I can't imagine it lasting more than a season or two.
That's, I think, what was my principal question. Do you think it's going to last at all?
No. It's too gritty. It's
Okay.
too gritty for...
CTV?
Yeah. It's just... I don't think people are quite ready, like, because Green Arrow's not that well known. So you don't have that fan base keeping you propped up. And since it's not for kids or a younger demographic like Smallville was, you don't have them to prop you up.
It almost
And
seems
build
to
to
me that Green Arrow was a stab at, like, the success of the Avengers. Let's get a superhero that's similar to an Avenger out on TV as quick as we can before Marvel does.
Maybe. But, I mean, it was probably due to the success of the Green Arrow character on Smallville as well. Like,
Yeah.
he was on it for
Yeah, but when did Smallville end?
Smallville ended a couple of years ago.
2 years ago? Yeah, see. Because it seems to me like you can't take Hawkeye from the Avengers and make his own movie.
No.
Nobody cares.
Not the way they've done
But
Hawkeye.
they could have with a TV show.
Yep.
So, anyway.
But no, they're planning a Hawkeye movie.
Are they?
I think, but with Hawkeye and Black Widow.
Yeah, because neither of them could pull off their own movie.
No. But because they mentioned stories of them together in the Avengers.
Yeah, they do.
So.
That's true. So it would be a prequel for them.
Yeah, and I think they're going to be in Captain America as well, both of them, Hawkeye and Black Widow.
It only makes sense now that the Avengers movie has happened that it's going to be so easy for those crossovers to happen.
Yeah, we got a fact correction from last week too.
Oh, do we?
Disney didn't buy or partner up with Marvel until the Avengers movie.
Oh, really?
So Disney really has nothing to do with it so far.
So no Thor.
No, they're. I mean, with the new Captain America, the new Thor, but I mean, the Avengers movie was happening whether Disney was on board or not.
Mm-hmm.
So we were wrong.
I'm glad just on a side note, that the Chinese didn't get their hands on the Star Wars trilogy.
We'll talk about that next week because that was the best episode of the season.
Oh, by the way, neither of us could remember early on in one of the podcasts what the first episode of the season of South Park was.
That's
and
right.
It actually wasn't that bad. It was the Sarcastaball one.
Oh, that was a good one. So we were wrong.
Yeah.
One more piece of geek news.
Yep.
X-Men Days of Future Past.
Stupid name.
Oh, fuck it is. I don't even get it, but maybe we'll get it once we watch the movie.
Again, yeah. So is that part of the first class?
Yeah, it's the second First Class
So
movie.
it's another prequel.
Yep.
Ish.
Brian Singer's back to direct, though.
That's excellent.
Because I think the first two X-Men were the best ones, for sure.
Well, yeah. The third is like that cousin you don't ever want to talk about.
Yeah. So he's back, and that's that.
Excellent news.
So that's it for Geek News. We're done for the week, but before we finish, as everyone probably should know, the east coast of the states got nailed pretty bad with that Hurricane Sandy.
Yep.
A lot of flooding, a lot of deaths, a lot of damage.
The tri-state area of New York, New Jersey, Connecticut.
All right, so if you can do anything to help out, doesn't matter what, go to redcross.org. Maybe donate $10, $5. Everything will help them.
Yep.
I mean, they're going to need it for the next couple of years. They're going to be recovering from this.
Especially because they're getting hit with another storm of some kind of nor'easter or whatever this weekend.
So, I mean, there's still tons of people without power, people with their houses underwater. So if you can, do it. If you can't, you can't.
Just hope for the best for them.
That's right. So that's it for us for this week. You can follow us on Twitter at FairlyOddCast.
And on YouTube at youtube.com/FairlyOddCast.
Which you won't need to soon because we'll have the website and the iTunes going.
Exactly.
And you can find us on Facebook.
And like us.
Where we keep y'all up to date with everything.
Exactly.
All right. Peace.
Peace.